My name is Marlene, and in this channel we're talking about tips and advice around moving to Germany and settling here. If you find these topics interesting, you can follow this channel and subscribe. By subscribing, you will make sure you will never miss any of our new videos. I will post new content every Tuesday. So now let's get started. Today I will walk you through the steps of successfully registering in Berlin and getting your Anmeldung done so that you can enjoy the more fun things about living in Berlin. Now, let's get started. First, it is legally mandatory that you register. Normally, it is expected to register within the first 2 weeks of living in Berlin. Now, sometimes this is not possible because you cannot get an appointment that quickly, but it is still important to register as soon as possible, and you should try to get an appointment as soon as possible. Now, why is registering important? You will need the Anmeldung for a couple of things, because the Anmeldung kicks off the process to receive your tax ID. And it is important that you receive your tax ID so that you don't pay more taxes than necessary. If you don't have a tax ID, you might be taxed at tax class 6, which is the highest possible tax class, so you would be paying quite a lot of taxes and more than you necessarily would have to. Now, once you have this registration document done, the financial authorities are going to be contacted already by the Bürgeramt, and then they will contact you within usually the next 2 weeks. You will get a letter from them which has your tax ID, and this tax ID you're going to give to your employer, who will then need this for the payroll, and then you will only pay the correct amount. There's also a grace period, and your employer could choose that they're only going to tax you in your normal tax class, even without a tax ID, for 3 months. However, they're not obliged to do that. So it might be that you will be taxed in tax class 6 until you have actually handed in your tax ID. So definitely make sure you get that done as quickly as possible. In case you're coming to Germany with an initial visa and you want to prolong your visa, you will also need the Anmeldung. Now, what else? You're going to be contacted by the broadcasting agency a couple of weeks after you have registered. In Germany, every household is obliged to pay broadcasting fees. They are currently around 18 euros, and yeah, everyone has to pay them. There's not really any way around it. In case you live from social benefits, you could request to be exempt from it, but in all other cases, it is going to be required that you will pay it. Now, once you receive this letter from the broadcasting agency, they're going to ask you for your payment details, and then they're going to be taking that money from your bank account regularly. Now, how do you make an appointment at the Bürgeramt? You can book the appointment at the Bürgeramt online. In case there's no appointment available at the point in time when you check, just make sure you update the page regularly, because new appointments become available all the time. It's especially recommended to check in the morning hours between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. because that's when new appointments tend to become available. I would definitely recommend that you take the earliest appointment available. You can go to any Bürgeramt in Berlin, it doesn't matter. Now, which documents do you need to register? First of all, you need your ID card or your passport. Second document that you will need is a completed registration form. I'm going to link you the registration form here in the video notes. That document is a proof that you actually live in that apartment or house. This document you're going to get from your landlord. You can maybe send it by email to them, or you can ask them in person, whatever is possible. If you do not have this proof that you have actually moved in, a registration is not going to be possible. In some cases, it's also possible that the caseworker at the Bürgeramt is going to ask you for your birth certificate. Normally, in my experience, it doesn't happen very often, but it might be. In case you have your birth certificate with you, you're definitely going to be on the safe side. Now, what happens at the appointment? Make sure you're going to be on time. If your appointment, for example, is at 1 p.m., make sure you're there 10 minutes early. When you arrive at the Bürgeramt, you're going to the waiting room and you will wait until your case number is called. Once your case number is called, it's also going to mention to which table or to which desk you're going to go. It might be, depending on the Bürgeramt, that there are small offices and you will go into one of the offices. It might be that it's a very big office and there are different tables, and then it's going to be the table number. I also recommend that you bring someone along with you who speaks German. This is going to be really helpful because sometimes the caseworker doesn't speak English or prefers communication in German. It will make your life easier. Once it's your turn, the caseworker is going to ask you for your documents. So you're going to hand over all the documents, and then the caseworker will actually enter all your details into the computer. Usually this is not going to take longer than 10 minutes, and it is also free of charge. So for the Anmeldung, you don't have to pay anything. Once they're done, they're going to print you a confirmation of registration. This is your Anmeldung document. And this document is very important, so make sure you store it somewhere safely. You will definitely need it again at some point. Now that your Anmeldung is done, make sure that your name is on the letterbox. As I've said earlier, you're going to get a document from the Finanzamt with your tax ID, and they will only put it into your letterbox if your name is on the letterbox. Now, in case you're subletting from someone, make sure that your name is added to the letterbox. Thank you so much for watching this video. I would be very interested to hear from you. How is your experience at the Bürgeramt if you have already registered? Or if you haven't registered yet, do you still have any open questions? I would love to see it in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more videos like this, I'm posting every Tuesday, so make sure you subscribe to this video to not miss any new videos.